Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Regit, and welcome to what might possibly be the most ridiculously long-winded all by myself I have ever undertaken, but the people asked for it, and the people will get it. This is Growing Strange, all by myself. And one thing I know about Growing Strange from the heres and the says is that it's quite difficult, very difficult. Even for the people who can physically play Battle Cats, it's very difficult. And so for me, you can probably logically infer that it isn't going to be too great. Also, when I first came upon this menu, I could not help but notice this new thing here, which I'm sure will start soon. Uncanny Legends. I remember saying something once about something could be green. We don't really have a green. It's sort of a paler shade of green than the Cat Claw Dojo. I haven't been there in so long, I really don't see much point in going there, to be honest, because I've not exactly got much skill to be testing out there. It's got to farm for resources and stuff, but an interesting thing. I do like the new colours, and now there's more sections, and that's fantastic. We'll be attempting that in the future anew, I am sure. But equally, that does not belong in the Stories of Legend. So, Growing Strange, from what I've heard, is not actually a no continue stage, and if it is, that would influence the way that I went about this quite a lot. That being not bothering to try and do it all by myself. I'm not going to do a no continue stage all by myself, usually, because you can only try it once with however many energy it takes. And I mean, this is 300. That's quite a lot, but the difference is, once I go in there with my 300 energy, there is nothing to stop me trying with that same slot as many times as I like, as long as I don't fail the level. And that is what provides a decent ground on which to actually be able to do an all by myself, so that I can work out what I need to improve, how I'm going to improve it, and how I'm going to be able to do the level. Now, there's an interesting facet of this. So, the level itself is called an Elder Secret, and it's Merciless difficulty. But it's also not Merciless difficulty, because the difficulty in the table is listed as Deadly, which is an interesting thing. I mean, it would be lovely if you could get a consensus on what difficulty it is, but I already know, as I said from the heres and the says, that it's very difficult. So without further ado, let's go into Growing Strange and be greeted in the Circle of Doom. I remember the Circle of Doom, back when the Cyclone was a terrifying and undefeatable beast. That Circle of Doom haunted me with the hard +++ all the way back then. Wow, that is some old... So anyone remember the old difficulty ratings? None of that Merciless back in the day. We just had hard +++, which is now only like an expert stage, so don't know how many pluses we got here. Anyway, an Elder Secret Merciless, 300 energy. I'm going to shift away from my Slimy Stallion's attempt of a slot and go to my general one. I'm going to go into this stage for the first time. Luckily, Growing Strange is one thing I've managed to avoid spoilers on, at least as far as what's in the level is concerned. So this will be new to me, and I hope it's going to be exciting. I know it's going to be exciting. It's also probably going to be terrifying. So let's attack, and into Growing Strange we go. Right, okay. Oh, we got a normal battlefield. Maybe that connotes a false sense of security, because things are about to go upside down, round and round, and up a creek with no paddle. We start off with Mr. Angels. That's alright, I've got Jizo for that, and they're defeated relatively easily, except I say that while they get on my base. I'm just going to upgrade my worker cat. Start off there then. Then it's Ginger Snatches. What have I got best for them? Probably Manic Macho Legs, little bit of meat shielding, and then maybe another Jizo. Very good for damage generally. I'm not just going to use Jizo for what type of enemies he's best against. So, I assume these are here to facilitate getting your worker cat up to max. Now, there are many ways in which I could be wrong in saying that if it's a rush stage, but I don't think it is. I think we're all right in upgrading our worker cat. And what is gonna... Oh, wow, okay, yep, okay, that's an interesting start. So, we got Le Pigeon de Sable, more Mr. Angels, which can be dealt with by Cameraman there against the floating, and also Jizo against the Angels. Now, Pigeon de Sables might cause a little bit of trouble just because I don't have anything like Octopus here. No wave resistance in this slot, but I do have Paladin, which I can use against the Metal One Horn there, so no need to panic on that front. Another thing that might be useful to get, if I ever get the monies for it, is something like Catman, I think, so I'm going to get that now. Keep meat shielding, and there, bam, there we go, lovely Paladin. Critical hit straight off, and oh, it has suddenly turned into the Great Cat Tournament, but sort of the other way around. That's nasty. It's Zori's And Shadowboxer K, I hate zombie enemies, and behind is a strange ghostly squid and a berserker. So one thing we're definitely going to need is wave resistance, I get that. But wow, I'm beginning to see why people complain about this just a tiny bit. That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff right there, I tell you. Strange ghostly squid causing trouble, berserker causing double trouble, zombies causing infinite trouble. Never seen a combo of berserker and zombies before, and I think there's a very good reason why, because that's going to be a very difficult kind of thing to defeat. So if we let it go on for much longer there, we're just going to be defeated, and it won't give me an opportunity to try again. So what I think I need to do, so as not to waste 300 energy in just one run, is try it again and just try and refine the way that I'm doing it with my general slot, because although I've got no anti-wave units, I reckon I can make it last a little bit longer and just work out what sort of things I need to be doing when I do change my strat. Going to upgrade my workout as soon as I can off the start this time, and start off with maybe a Jiangshi and then a Jizo as well. Deal with these Mr. Angels before they get to the base might be the best way to do it, and all the while just upgrading working out as soon as I can, because it's probably the safest way to do it. The more monies I have, the more likelihood there is of being able to cope with what comes out the base. So next after them are the Ginger Snatches. Upgrade my work account once, I think. Get Manic Macho legs, mix shield a bit more, get Jizo out, and just work at these slowly. Upgrade the worker cat. It looks like it's not on a timer, and the base stuff is when we hit the base. So actually maybe if I stop spamming stuff now, the Ginger Snatches will maybe be strong enough. No, they're not going to be strong enough to eat through my stuff. So in hindsight, there's a thing that might be better to do. Let the Ginger Snatches push me back, so I'm just there upgrading my worker cat for a bit longer, because we're only at level 5 and now level 6 when we get into the first main boss waves. So, anti-waves. Anti-wave wise, I'm thinking maybe something which facilitates the rest of the meat shields for the way that my units work. So maybe instead of Cat Machine, which is just going to get killed because of how close it stands to everything else, maybe something like Eva 00. If that can stand behind all my meat shields, we can operate the army in a more normal way instead of tailoring it exactly to an anti-wave layout. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't actually think it does. I think what I'm saying holds no weight at all. But I feel like Eva 00 served me really well in the Legend Ends, so I want to use it again anyway. There's a critical hit that we need, going to let us last a little bit longer, but the zombie enemies are on us. And if you know me, you know that I really don't like zombie enemies. But one thing is, Cameraman is historically very good against zombie enemies, and we have there dealt with Shadowboxer K, so now we can move on to Berserker and the Strange Ghostly Squid. Now, I need to think it's a Berserker, really. What I want to be doing is actually not really meat shielding, possibly saving up for a Bahamut instead. So that's what I might do, and Manic Mohawks. They always say Manic Mohawks are good for if you want something to attack, but then the unit sort of dies while it's attacking, and then the wave doesn't happen. And wow! Okay, so that's like 2 or 3 Berserker hits to kill an A Bahamut. Not going to be great for an opportunity to kill it then. So we are probably going to need to wave shield it and do a different way there. Even Manic Macho Legs isn't standing a chance. This Berserker is mighty strong, which is saying to me things like sort of Rocat maybe. That's very resistant to red enemies. Might help us last a long time, but I'm going to leave it there before we die horrendously. Jizo looks really shook. Look at that. There is quite a lot of argument for Cameraman in this stage, but I possibly think, zombie-wise, because I'm thinking of what non-Uber units are quite good against zombies. Also, Castaway Seafarer Cat, which has been suggested, because that also might help with the Calamari. Maybe Seafarer would be the one sort of thing which should actually be able to get to the Calamari, but I mean, we've got a Berserker to deal with before all that, so maybe not. I don't know. But the first order of this run is trying to make it just a little bit longer in this opening stage of the battle so that we can get our worker cat leveled up a bit more. And again, if you know me, you know that I'm really bad at this whole stalling thing. I've killed them all again, and the way that it always goes is that I either kill them too quickly or they kill me too quickly. There's no happy medium, and I've got one better on the worker cat just before the boss wave comes out, but practically not really very much better at all. So that leaves me a little bit in the stuck, but if I economise with the units I'm using here, maybe we might be able to get another upgrade. There's one there. That's going to leave us pretty skint with almost no units, though. Let's get another Jizo out along with some meat shielding. But then also Ginger Snatches. Not a Jizo's best friend. That's just going to leave us in the stuck a little bit earlier than previously happened. Although, maybe not, actually. We might be alright. I'm going to get Paladin out as well, anticipating the Metal One Horn. And now we're at max worker count. Okay, we did that a little bit shabbily, but we got there. And there we go. There's our critical hit. Let's get this started again. Bit of cameraman, stuff like that. And how am I going to attack it this time? Not a Bahamut, that obviously didn't work. Let's get Catman. That should be good for knocking stuff back. I hope. Keep these Zoris at bay, which have caused me much trouble in Multiversal Studios and all sorts of things like that. I'll stay away from zombies whenever I can. My Beast Bones farming stage, after it was advised to me to do that one, after I just completely blanked its existence. Paparazzi Paradise. You never actually have to fight any enemies in that. I don't like zombies, I'll be honest. Oh, and of course, Berserkery with level 11 waves causing trouble as per usual, decimating everything, even in my sort of other battle, way past Catman, absolutely melting me into oblivion, and we're sort of reaching exactly the same stage. Now, for all I know, this could be like a third of the way through the battle, even less than that. I've heard that it's difficult, and if I can get this far in a general slot, I can be fairly sure that there's much worse to come. So, what I think I'm gonna do is make as small an edit to this strategy as I can to facilitate against the Berserkery, but allow for whatever comes along after it. I'm back! I couldn't really think of anything to say after that. I guess I'm just back. I've changed up my slot to be a little bit different, as previously discussed, in a way that will hopefully make Growing Strange a little bit easier, or in any case, allow me to get a little bit further through the level. So the meat shielding has remained the same, but I've switched Cameraman Cat for Seafarer Cat. The reason being, the Cameraman Cat doesn't actually have an effect against the Mr. Angels, because Angels ignore anti-floating types, if I remember correctly. And also, it's useful, but kind of surplus to requirements. Jizo can take care of stuff probably better than Cameraman can, and we've got to try and use every little slot in the 10-part slot as most efficiently we can. Then I've replaced Manic Macho Legs with Rocat, because, as we said before, it's resistant to red. Maybe we'll be able to get up to the Berserkery, but then again, that might just have an adverse effect, and I might have ruined it. Paladin is kept as normal, because that worked well for the Metal One Horn, and I've put in Eva 00 for the anti-waving. Now, I thought about what to use with it. Jizo apparently works with it because of the strange thing about wave blocking range. I know Bucas the 98th made a video about it. I watched it, didn't make any sense to me at all. I asked him about it, his explanation didn't make any sense to me at all, and I'm still at a loss. So I'm just going to take it that it works with no idea why. And I looked up on the Battlecats wiki, using ranges and that, what might be useful to use with Eva 00. And I thought originally, something like Ganglion. That's good against Alien, right? So it's going to be able to hit Calamari, given it has the long range ability. So it will attack at the same range regardless of where enemies are. So we might get some cheeky hits. Unfortunately, its actual range is tiny. And even though Eva 00 protects further forward than you'd rationally or logically think, I'm pretty sure it doesn't go that far. So instead, I've brought in Eva Unit 01, who without the long range essentially does the same sort of thing and is strong against aliens and zombies. That should be able to deal with the Zoris and also the Calamari. Additionally, it has all the fancy stuff with all the different abilities. Is that zombie killer? It is. So maybe that will help against the Zoris and some other stuff should it need. I believe it's also got Barrier Breaker if we go back to the menu. It does indeed. So if any of that sort of stuff comes out like you can, we're sorted. I've kept a Bahamut. It hasn't been of use so far, especially against that Berserkery, but you never know. Might be of use later on in the battle. I said I'd try and make as minor changes as I can. So, same old stock then. Let's upgrade the Worker Cat. Another facet, I reckon, of Miro Cat is that against the things like the Ginger Snatches, that's just going to be able to stay in that place for a long time. Also, another thing about Seafarer Cat, I reckon it might do better against the Pigeons de Sableur than other units. It's just generally sort of tanky and good for sort of fishing stuff out of the sky, I think. Anyway, it's time for Rocat. time for a bit of worker cat upgrading. We just got to make sure to stay safe with what's there. And Rocat, obviously not going to do that much damage, but that's the point. That's what we want. We just want to be able to stay here for as long as possible and not progress to the forefront of the battle. Otherwise, we're just going to be inadequately funded. Unfortunately, however, this is exactly what has happened, and we're only at a level 5 worker cat, because isn't that absolutely marvellous? Well, let's get Jizo out. Bit more Castaway, I think. And then also Paladin would do as well, seeing we have the Metal One Horn out at the moment. And then, other than that, I'm just going to meat shield conservatively, or at least try to, without all the Jiangshi and all of that. And then upgrade the worker cat all the while to get to level 8 through a sort of more risky and dangerous, but equally profitable method. Or Paladin could die. I mean, that could happen as well. That could definitely happen as well. Now imagine this is one of those stupid no continue stages. That would have been it. 300 energy down the drain. But this is actually a sensible, actual stage, and despite what any of you might say about how difficult it will be, and I'm sure I'll find out in due course, you cannot say that it's fleecing you out of energy quite as much as a no continue stage would.
Hey Reggie, you don't even know the half of it.
Right, I'm going to let Castaway die this time, because the last time when it was with the Ginger Snatchers and that, what it did was actually just sort of fish them out of the sky and kill them. And I mean, it's actually still doing that. I'm going to perpetually be starting this battle too early. This is starting to get a little bit annoying. We're on the edge of the battle here, being absolutely pounded into submission. I don't really get it. I don't know what has changed to suddenly make things so much more difficult. I mean, what have I got rid of? Catman, maybe? I mean, that's about it. I didn't have any combos on or anything like that, and suddenly, I'm finding it so much more difficult. Yes, I have half a beer down my gullet, but I can't imagine that that is making things so much more difficult that I'm now on the very edge of defeat, even before the Berserkorian Strange Ghostly Squid have come out. But perhaps as consolation, I do have both my Eva units, and now that we've got Eva 00 protecting nicely against the waves, it looks like we're going to start to be able to make a nice affront to this Berserkori with some Jizo power, continue to meat shield. Probably don't need Jiangshi. I hope I don't. That'll allow me to save a bit more. Only on a level 6 worker cat now, but good news, Calamari is dead, and so now we are just left with the Berserkori. So I'm just going to meat shield conservatively like this. Berserkori is weakened thanks to Rocat. Excellent news. Ginger Snatcher might get another Rocat on the scene. Ultimately though, just want to get my worker cat up to max, and then maybe we can actually progress further in this battle than we've got so far in the before times. Max, worker cat, excellent. So what I've seen so far of this An Elder Secret Merciless is that it looks to me very much like a sort of on steroids version of the Catfruit Jubilee. That had all sorts of different types of enemies, including metal, which you don't see in the other Catfruit stages. And this is just that with far more difficult enemies, I reckon. And I don't think the ordeal is quite over yet. People wouldn't be complaining so profusely about how difficult the stage was if that was just it. It would probably just be me. So, what is next to come out o' the base? What's it going to be? What exciting thing is it going to be? The base has given us plenty of time to wait in anticipation for what on earth it's going to be. You're going to... No way, is that it? No, it's teasing me. It's definitely teasing me. No? Not when it's 100,000 health? What? I've just done it. What's that all about? What on earth is that all about? Has this been an elaborate joke?
Hey Reggie, you don't even know the half.
No, that's... no, I get it. That's what it is. No way could have that been what people were talking about. Oh, dear me. So I'm glad I kept things general. There's a whole other stage to it, which fills me with joy. I've noted that I haven't got any of that special cat fruit. I did get my energy filler recovered, so, you know, that's nice. Gonna sit at the cat while we inevitably fail at this stage. So, as mildly difficult as an Elder Secret was, I assume this next bit's gonna be what is quite so challenging about Growing Strange, but we're going to go into it. We're going to give it a go. We're going to say, oh, we're in the graveyard. That's not a good sign. I mean, big base lamp, that's a good sign. Zombies, that's not a good sign. So my only true anti-zombie is my Eva 01. I also have Castaway Cat, who's pretty good for that sort of thing. Oh, Zamel! And I thought things were all right. See, what I'd love for that is my Cyberpunk Cat. This is bringing back now awful memories of Love Child Lane, where I've had much upon much difficulty. And Zamel, really one of those enemies that is very rarely escapable. Always there, causing you trouble in some sort of perpetual struggle that you can't possibly expect to win. I'm going to bring out Eva 01 because I don't trust Saki Pengs. They're not quite as bad as Star Pengs, alright? I admit that. But these guys are certainly troublesome. And I mean, I didn't like the fact that there were 2 zombie enemies in the level before. And now there's like a whole massive load of them and no other types of enemies. We got a zombie kill there. Good work, Eva 01. But I still am filled with a huge amount of dread because I know just as well as the people who watch me that I do not mix well with zombie enemies. And there is the bane of the Great Cat Tournament itself, the Zangru, burrowing away to who knows where. It's probably just going to appear at my base. Oh! I said that as a joke, Zangru. Resolutely a joke. Not an invitation. Oh, for goodness sake. There's no point even pausing it because once you use a continue that the game offers you to go on to another stage, it's worthless. You can't force close it. So actually, you know, I take back everything I said because you've still facilitated it into a no continue stage. You complete and utter scumbags. Right, so here are the editations that I have made. Same meat shielding. I have swapped Seafarer Cat for Can Cat. The reason being, maybe I just wasn't watching properly, but I didn't see Seafarer do much of use at all. So I'm going to try another unit famed for its general usefulness. Can Cat, Jizo stays, Rocat stays, Paladin stays, and Eva 00 stays. But I swapped in Bomber for Eva 01. Now, Eva 01 was doing a brilliant job, but I'm thinking for that pesky Zangru that almost immediately ruined any chance I had of getting through the second stage, I need to be able to knock it back immediately and actually remember to have the relevant cash flow to be able to get rid of it. Hopefully that will facilitate more safeness in the knockback instead of doing good damage. It still has zombie kills, so it should still be able to do the same killing and money generating, but then also keep me safe more easily. Also, Meg Aphrodite. I said Cyberpunk, but she actually outranges Zamel, which I didn't know, but I looked up the stats, and apparently she does. So as long as I meet shield well enough, I should be fine, and she should be able to hit Zamel without any bother. And hopefully, with the help of all the meat shields and stuff, she will be kept safe. So that's my new and revised strat. Hopefully it's still enough to get through the first stage. But I guess it remains to be seen. If I start with a Rocat here, is it going to be good against Mr. Angels in terms of being steadfast? I'm sure it has plenty of health generally. And although it won't be... okay, there's the problem. So it does get knocked back fairly easily. And putting Jizo out was probably the wrong decision. I'm going to put out another Rocat. Hopefully that'll give us ample opportunity to upgrade the Worker Cat. Problem is, Jizo's going to be protected there. And normally, I'd be very happy with this, killing the snatches very easily. But when you want things to last longer and you to be stalling longer to get more cash, Jizo has to mess it up, doesn't he? Right, let's try this process again then. See if we can do just as well. We don't really need to finish with any flurry of flying colours, we just need to get through it. Start trying to deal with that zombie atrocity that is the rather terrifying next stage. In fact, seeming as there isn't actually that much more to this, I don't really know why I'm upgrading my Worker Cat so much. My thinking being that all I really need to do is get through this. There's no other stage to... these pigeons de sableur are causing a right heap of trouble. They're pigeons de sableur. They're not meant to be doing that. Always Worker Cat level 5, whatever I do. I mean, admittedly, I just tried Can out for the Mr. Angels, but then of course it would naturally decimate the Ginger Snatches. But every time, level 5 Worker Cat, it's not enough. But I mean, this time, seeing as Pigeons de Sableur are presenting so much trouble, and maybe having Seafarer would have actually been useful, and he was doing a sort of unsung hero role, I'm going to try and fill that gap with Eva 00. Definitely going to protect us against the waves, and should hopefully calm things down and make it a lot nicer. Then we need to save up a little bit for Paladin, so that we don't get melted by the Metal One Horn, and we've also got the Zoris to deal with. Essentially, loads of stuff, and not much cash to deal with it with. Zori there already landed a shot on the base. We're having to use the freeze cannon to keep them at bay, and I don't have time to save for Eva 01, but we killed that stuff, so that's good. Paladin's out, so that's the most that we can do, but you know, to prevent risk of getting killed here and now, I'm going to start again. Because there's nothing I love more than doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Because as much as you might suggest that you shouldn't do that, that's exactly what you have to do. 1 G-Zone, 1 meat shield then. Hopefully the Ginger Snatchers at least will crash through that meat shielding and kill G-Zone. And then we can just have Rokat out, and that's how we need to do this. So kill Jizo off. Oh no. Oh, I cannot believe it. I mean, if I wanted Jizo to survive, he would be 6 foot under and more, like 36 feet under. But as soon as I actually want him to die, there he is. Bright as day. Roughly the same thing again then. And this time I'm going to make absolutely sure to let Jizo die. I might have been a bit overzealous with the upgrading the worker cat there. No, actually we're going to be fine. We're going to be able to afford Rokat. We just need to wait for Jizo to die. Please kill it. Good. Right, that's how we needed it. A bit close with the timings, but now we can stall in peace. And I mean, Rokat's still doing a fair amount of damage to them, knocking them back, which is worrying. And again, I might have been overzealous with the worker cat, but we can afford another one. It's fine. So actually, yeah, did well out of that. Now we've got 2 on the field. Hopefully, I want them to stall, but they seem to be doing more knocking back than that. And they've killed one of them. So I guess maybe it is physically impossible to get far past level 5 worker cat. But I'm sure as heck not wasting a rich cat on every attempt to this level that I do, especially given it can be done without a rich cat. Eva 00 then. Might endeavour to move forward a little so we can actually see what on earth's going on. That's going to be useful for when the zombies start burrowing. Let's get Mighty Bomber out. That can stick at the back. Do a little bit of general knockbacking, even if it isn't on the zombie enemies. Now we can get Paladin for the Metal One Horn. And here comes the burrowy boys with their friend Shadow McBoxer the K. So let's freeze all of them, because for some reason, Metal One Horn still isn't dead. There we go. There's the Paladin hit that we needed. And stuff is still raining down upon us in incredibly violent volumes. But Mighty Bomber lets out a lovely zombie kill there. And we've dealt with the Shadow Boxer K. Just need to be worried that there is a corpse zombie there. Please do not move past it, Mighty Bomber, or it is not. It's going to get knocked back into its path. Wombo comboed, in fact, which is actually not very useful. Rather that the zombie enemies just died. But I guess you can't really be picky and choosy. Now, can we still kill Calamari in the same way without Eva 01? I reckon so. Eva 00 is making an absolute mincemeat of this Berserkery since it being here. I mean, at the very start, ironically or not, I trashed the idea of a ranged wave shield, but it has really shown itself to be a very good unit. I'm proud of you, Eva 00. Right, there's Calamari gone at the whack of a big shield of Eva 00. Lovely, impressive Uber it is as well. I assume Cancan's done a good job for us. I'm thinking it was used in the strategy for Parade of the Dead back in the day, so maybe it's going to be good against zombies. I mean, it should be. It'll hopefully be. And hopefully we'll get a little bit further in that stage than we did in our miserable attempt where we got to it last time. So we're going to be able to get through this final bit now, after this rather persistent Berserkery dies right there, and I will join you in the Hellish Graveyard. Upgrade my worker cat at the start? I mean, maybe that's fair enough, not too overzealously. I might stop it there because we need to make sure we have enough monies for Mighty Bomber. Next thing in order, I don't know, let's do Cat, Jizo, some meat shields, and we'll work at it like that. They can move across now, save up for Mighty Bomber, because that's our main concern at the moment, is the impending appearance of the Zangru, which I thought originally was just the kind of problem that you get when you're trying to do your Great Cat Tournament. But it is just a general, overwhelming and awfully difficult to solve problem. Problem I definitely haven't solved yet, seeming you have to get through an entire stage before it to even attempt to solve it all by yourself, and I don't even have half the funds for Mighty Bomber, and where is that Zangru? I mean, I shouldn't be wishing it along, but just need to keep track of where it's going to be when it appears. Right, enough for Bomber now. We have enough for Bomber now. Keep meat shielding like that. Now we sort of actually need the Zangru to appear. It's coming later than I originally thought it would. We need to actually save up past Bomber money again to upgrade the worker cat. And it's actually still not here. That interesting, but here it is. It's going to appear. Seems a lot slower this time when you're actually wishing it to come out. I guess that's always how it works, really. Okay, it burrows. I don't know when it's going to burrow back up again, but we're going to Mighty Bomber now, and that should be just about right. Okay, we're knocking him back, and hopefully he won't burrow. I'm hoping that. I don't trust to leave Bomber by itself because of all the other zombie enemies, and I only know that that works with Big Sal. So I've just got to hope the Zangru here just doesn't burrow. I'm going to freeze them in their tracks there. And just hope that we can get some zombie kills, get a bit of monies into the situation, because I don't think Bombeur's going to outrange Zamel. So you need to get this done fairly quickly and get Meg Aphrodite on the scene. So she's going to outrange Zamel. I just need to meat shield for my life. Keep on zombie killing. Keep on meat shielding as best I possibly can. And if things stay like this, yeah, we're going to be alright. Do I think things are going to stay like this? Do I think Meg Aphrodite's not going to get caught out at any point? No, I think she is going to get caught out. I think we're going to be landed in the Stuck. And I think it's all going to get pretty ugly. I was saying, that is just revolting, honestly. I can deal with certain things. I can work on trying to complete certain things. But when you have waves of Zangroos like that, and your mighty Bombeur dies, there's not really much you can do about it. I mean, we got insanely lucky there, but it's only burrowed. Burrowed corpse formed. It's going to come back, and we're going to have nothing for it. This, in the words of my previous self, is ridiculous. There is no physical way out of that. That is insane. I don't really feel in the mood to try that again, to be honest. I don't know how I'm going to improve the strategy, what I'm going to do instead. I don't know. I've brought out everything that can conceivably work, and through lots and lots of concentration and effort, I've managed to defeat that wave. And what happens? There's just another one. And I guess I'm beginning to understand why people are complaining about it. And I mean, if this isn't all that they're talking about, what have I got myself into? I mean, I sort of knew acutely what I got myself into, but equally, what have I got myself into? Oh, how deceiving can a word be? Cleared Growing Strange, have I cleared it? I don't think I've cleared it somehow. We still haven't got any of that fancy cat fruit, even though we've cleared it twice, because, of course, like those stages back in the day, like bad to worse, this is worse to even worse. You complete it, you're like, oh, that's pretty good, I've completed it. But then what you want, you don't actually get. I guess the difference of bad to worse was, all you sort of wanted was to complete it. All you did get from doing the worst, I think, was an epic cat fruit, which can be got from RNG in the other cat fruit stages. Ancient cat fruit, I don't think the same actually applies. So here, more than completing it actually matters. And that's been a bit of a trouble. And Lucas's radar has been a radaring and a shining and a shouting, because he was like, you might need a strat. Should we make a strat? I'm like, Lucas, the people want me to do it all by myself. He's like, yeah, but you can't. And I'm like, I know. But you wanted it, so I'm going to continue with it. Growing Strange is back on, and I've changed my strat ever so slightly. So here it is. We came across quite a lot of zombie-related problems before. So what I've done to remedy that is bring about Pole Vaulter Cat, because Pole Vaulter is an absolute classic at getting rid of zombies and that. I used it in the Great Cat Tournament, I think. That was where we had the Zangroos causing trouble, same as they're doing now. And also, I brought in Ultralan, the Ultraman, because he can knock back and freeze anything except for metals, which we don't see in the zombie level. But one thing I do know is that eventually what we're going to have to try and do is personalise this slot less and less for an Elder Secret, to a point where maybe we need power-ups to get it done, because it is the only level where you can use power-ups within it. They just disappear in any of the continues after it. But then I don't really want to make it so I can only get it done once in a blue moon. I need to get through this level every time I want to try the other level, and I mean, that's pretty horrendous. I don't like that at all. It's nasty, and it doesn't make for a very nice experience, but I don't think anyone ever really told me that Growing Strange would be a fun experience. So, without further ado, let's attack and into an Elder Secret. Once again, for the third completion, we go. Oh, something I forgot to mention. I've changed out Jiangxi for another eraser. Reason being that I have reason to believe that Jiangxi's just destroying my funds, especially on the second level where I need as many funds as I can get, because I don't have ample time to bring about my worker cat levels. I don't have the opportunity to use Rich Cat. It just simply won't let you. So instead of having Jiangxi eating all my monies, I've got dual erasers and Manic Mohawk to be hopefully just as strong, but not as expensive. And at this point, I'm going to give up trying to get my worker cat max at the start because it is a fruitless effort in a cat fruit stage. We're going to get to level 6 now. As we start this next part of the battle, what was it that I usually put out? It was Eva 00. Well, let's save up for that. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll just start the level again. I've got all the time in the world. I wonder if I do dual erasers like this, I can last for a little bit longer until the ginger snatchers come out. Maybe. Might give us a little bit more leeway with the worker cat, but I think upgrading it to level 6 has been wholly unadvisable. It's just left me with nothing to defend the onslaught, and I need my Eva 00 in those cases. Maybe a pole vaulter cat as well, seeming as the zombies will be coming soon enough. And let's upgrade the worker cat all the while. And when we kill our next thing, paladin for the incoming metal one horn. And there are the Zoris. Isn't that wonderful? Things always coming a little bit too fast. And there they are, the zombies right in the middle of everything, causing trouble. Eva 00 landing a nice shot there. Let's just freeze them all. Might only have that luxury for a short while if we change the cannon. But there we go. What is life except for a huge... You know, I am losing the will already, and this is the first attempt of today. Dual Razor Stalling can get me to level 4 worker cat just about, with the Gizo in the background, very, very dangerously stood there. And there we go, we're going to be alright now, I think, just about, roughly, maybe, perhaps. Now's the time for saving, the time that they walk up towards the base. Need enough for Eva 00, then after that, probably something else I'll need. Maybe like Bomber, just to make sure we keep the Zoris away, because they just cause havoc and destroy everything. And I also need to remember that I need to get Paladin out, otherwise the Metal One Horn's going to kill me. So many things to remember, it just reminds me of driving lessons, and to be honest, I don't want to be reminded about that. Oh, that's fantastic. Eva 00, instead of getting a shot, gets knocked back. Let's bring Ultralan in, because we can. We have the monies for it, and of course he is an Ultraman. Paladin as well, maybe an upgrade of the worker cat, and keep meat shielding. Okay, we have killed Metal One Horn before the Zoris come out this time, so it should be at least a little bit better. That would be if all this chaos wasn't being caused and my base wasn't getting destroyed for another time in a row. For goodness sake. I already hate this, and we haven't got on to the bit that I hate yet. This time I'm going to do it without even saying a word in commentary terms, because obviously I can't even do this first part of the level whilst talking to the camera, so you know roughly what goes on. I'm just going to try and do that with actual degrees of success. I forgot about this part of the level as well. I've actually changed the strat to try and suit the other levels so much that I've forgotten there was a bit that I was stuck on before anyway. This is actually awful. I mean, we're not going to get stuck by this because we still have our Eva 00 alive, but if it had died, that's another attempt that I'll have to do again. It's just really, really depressing. I've already had enough of this. Maybe I might be able to work out the shockwave stuff for myself. I know I said that I didn't understand Lucas's video, and I didn't, but I gathered at least the shockwave range isn't what you'd logically expect it to be when it's blocked by something with a certain range. It's different. Maybe it does it per level and not per range, because all that Berserk already got there was a level 1 shockwave, right? Which, if I remember correctly, all in all is about 300 or 400 range, something like that. No, that's wrong, because that's more than Eva 00. It's something. Anyway, maybe we can use that. Wait, hang on a minute. Wait, hang on a minute. This isn't the zombie level, right? This is something entirely different. What on earth is going on here? Is this some kind of like branched evolution of a stage? Is it random? What chance it gives me at what level? I mean, I'm glad this isn't the zombie one, but still, I've made my strat for the zombie one. Am I gonna have to de-specificize it again? Because you've now thrown in another curveball at me. What am I gonna find here? I'm gonna be cautious with the worker cat, and rightly so, because that is a Scissoroo. And I mean, What have I got for a Scissoroo? Nothing. I mean, I much prefer to see aliens, but equally, right? I've got anti-zombie stuff. I mean, it appears as if Jizo's actually outranging Scissoroo. So we're going to be fine for this. Take the chance to upgrade our worker cat a little bit and just keep going like that for a little bit and hope that we have our moment of serenity here. Maybe we can actually get us another Scissoroo. That's great. I've only got 2 Jizos and all I can do is meat shield. Although I might be able to afford another Jizo, cheeky one just there. Alright, okay, and we're slowly knocking them back. It's going to be a slow process, but as long as I don't mess up or the cats don't get in some horrendous sinking wombo combo event, we're going to be alright. Right, 5,000 monies then. The Jizos and that head towards the base. A cautionary eraser now. And it's an Elder Sloth and some other stuff. If I had my alien stuff, I would be so happy. But maybe Megaphrodite might be alright for us. But other than Megaphrodite, I've got now. Equally, I could be saying that incorrectly. I don't actually remember what Eva 00 is against other than waves. So we'll try and bring that out when we can. But I mean, other than that, nothing specifically that I remember using as an anti-alien. Nothing like Catman. Nothing like Volley. Nothing like that. We just got some fairly standard stuff that we actually brought for a zombie level that's now, quite interestingly, not here. Which is brilliant. I mean, isn't that absolutely fantastic? Ooh, okay. Eva 00 is going to get oofed by the Elder Sloth now and then, so it's not going to provide the same protection as it did before. Megaphrodite's been knocked back. I know not what by, however. And that's another oof. 2 oofs, and the Eva 00 is gone. Sounds pretty much like Sillet Bang, and that doesn't bode well for me. But that does. What I reckon about Growing Strange now is that it's going to be like that thing in Wii Party, where you progress through a different path, doing different mini-games to ultimately get to the end goal. If it was just 2 stages, I would have done it right now, but I don't trust that that's it at all. And if I get the zombie one again, I mean, what's that saying? Oh, alright then. Wait, Seed, you little... Where is this rascal of a thing then? Go on, show yourself. Show yourself amongst all this other cat fruit, you wretched little Seed. Seed! I don't think a Seed's going to get me anywhere, is it? Drama True Form isn't a Seed, is it? No, literally. Where is it? It's in this menu at the very least. I have one fancy looking Seed, but no fancy looking cat fruit. So this is a victory for an all by myself. I've done Growing Strange all by myself. So I hope you're happy with that. But what I'm not happy about is the fact that my chum is a Seed. And that true form needs an entire thing. I need to get this same luck with getting that galactic what's it 4 more times to get the one strange ancient cat fruit that I need to get this true form. And then there's the legend true forms as well. That is not on. Nevertheless, I have fulfilled the brief and now I'm going to go off to Lucas and say, yeah, right, workable strat that I can farm with, let's work towards that. So, on this relatively speaking success, I will ask you to subscribe if you'd like to. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year and any subscription towards that would be massively appreciated. I will see you later. I hope you enjoyed.